record button. And I just want you guys to know that Taylor Perry, she's a diamond coach. She's been actively coaching for like less than 6 months, I think, right, Taylor?
About 6 months, like actually like coaching. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So it's about 6 months actually like actively working the business. She, and I have a really funny, history actually. So she signed up for every December, we do like a collaborative 28 days of giveaways challenge. And so a bunch of coaches do it together, and the coaches who sign up agree to provide a gift for one of the challengers on the day that we take over. And so on my day, I had a LuLaRoe consultant who donated an outfit in return for me doing some stuff for her. And Taylor was a challenger in that group, and she won the LuLaRoe outfit. And she was like, oh my gosh, I never win anything. I'm so excited. And the way that she won it was, my assignment for that day was post on your wall, about how this challenge has been a blessing to you, and, tag your coach or use this hashtag. And then I went and I, looked at the hashtag, and I found all of the people who had posted about it, and her post was just beautiful. Like, I think it made me tear up or something. And I was like, whose challenger is this? She needs to be a coach immediately. What are you even doing? Why is she not a coach yet? And so she signed up, and I guess struggled with a lot of self-doubt. And then as soon as she started diving into the business, she saw immediate success. And she's somebody that I really, really respect. I respect her posts. I respect her work ethic. Work ethic. Did I say that right? Work ethic. She, there have been multiple times where she's been like, oh my gosh, I'm at Success Club 0. And the next day she's at 10, because she just works hella hard, you guys. She works so hard. And, diamond is definitely nothing to shake a stick at. It's definitely to be respected. So she's a diamond coach. She, hits Success Club every month, and she is just a stellar example of what a coach should be. So I'm honored to have her on this call. Super, super blessed. So Taylor, if you want to take it from here, we can't wait to hear from you. And I got to plug my computer in because it's going to die.
Okay. I'm going to share my screen with you guys once she comes back. That her intro just had me in tears. I honestly think you guys are so, so lucky to have her as a coach. I greatly respect her, and we have so much in common. It's so funny because we actually joked when we were in Mexico that she and I are more alike and have more in common than me and my upline. So it's just kind of a funny joke to have. But no, I'm super honored that she asked me to speak to you guys. That really, really means a lot to me. So I hope that the information I provide you guys is super valuable. I am going to share my screen. I have a super quick kind of presentation just to give you guys a little visualization, if you will. So let me see if my screen share works, and tell me if you guys can see my screen. And I want this. Hang on. My computer's a little slow, so bear with me, but tell me if you guys can see this presentation. Yes? Okay, cool. So guys, this is all about being yourself and posting so that you can rock your Beachbody business. Initially, it's really funny because I was like, oh, I need a title for this. And she was like, oh, what's your title? And I was like, posting for social media success. And then I was like, I don't talk like that. No, we're going to keep this real, because I think that's one of the most crucial things about this business and sharing is you have the freedom to be you. And that's one thing that I so admire and respect about this business and just fell in love with is, where else can you work? Where else can you be a part of this community that literally just encourages you to be your best you? Whatever the best version of you is, go for that. So I love this business. And as she had said before, I am a diamond coach. I really was too scared when I started this business to share and to invite people and to talk to people, because it is kind of scary. Let's be real, especially if you're like me. I started when I first signed up to be a coach. I had 200 friends on Facebook. I never accepted anyone that I knew from high school or like had mutual friends with, because I was like, wait, why are you adding me? Like, why do you want to talk to me? Why do you want to know about my life? Like, no. So that has been a struggle for me, but I really just realized like your story has the power to transform someone's life. Like, truly. Think of, and this is what I tell my coaches all the time, think of what got you to start this business. What made you say yes to this? Was it someone's story? Was it you relating to, you know, being a mom? Was it you relating to not feeling comfortable in your own skin? Like, those are all tough things, but those are things that you related to. And so you need to share that and be uncomfortable in your own skin for a second to share that with people, so that other people are like, oh man, like, she's not a fitness robot. She's not just like, Shakeology. She's like a real person who has real struggles, and like I can relate to that. So this is, like I said, just super important to me, and I think it's so just a blessing to be able to be real and talk about all of your flaws and your struggles, and people relate to that, and you can help people with that. So let's see. So first, okay, I can see some of you at a time, but I want to know, show of hands, how long have you guys been a coach? I'm going to say, okay, 0 to 6 months. We have any new coaches? A couple. Okay, awesome. How about 6 to 12 months? Okay, Annalisa. Okay, and then over a year. Has anybody been a coach for over a year? I think I saw a hand go up. Okay, awesome. I just kind of want to, and Kat, obviously, I just want to kind of get an idea, because like I said, I actually signed up to be a coach last March, and like I think I hit Success Club 5 maybe for a couple months. I think I missed one there, but I was way too scared to actually like talk and share about my story. And I think that when I finally did, that was a huge like turning point for me. So how often are you guys posting? Again, I want to see a show of hands. And this can be for Instagram and Facebook. Add them together if you want to. Do you post once a day, at least once a day? Show of hands. Ooh, not everybody's raising their hand. Okay. I see some people laughing like, oh shoot, yeah, I should probably be doing that more often. Okay, no worries. And then like 2 or more times a day? Nobody except for Kat. Oh my gosh. Okay. Guys, we got to change that. You got to talk to people about your story. Okay. Another question. When was your last live video? Was it within the last week? Last live video within the last week? Anybody? Okay. Within the last month? All right. Okay. I think I saw 2 hands go up for that one. Okay. Raise your hand if you've never gone live on your page. Never. Everybody's hands. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm excited because I was exactly feeling the same as you. I actually got one of my coaches on my team challenged me. I had to go live every single day for 30 days last summer. Sounds absolutely terrifying. I promise once you're at like day 7, you're like, all right, I'm over it. I'm cool. I'll go live. I don't care anymore. But you guys, so when she introduced me, she had said that in the past, I've been like, oh my gosh, I'm at Success Club 0. Like, I'm struggle busting. Like, I don't know what to do. The first time I ever went live was on the 30th of the month. I was at Success Club 0. I'm like, that's it. I'm missing this month. I guess, I stink as a coach. I don't know what to do. And a bunch of us in the coach family had were supposed to go live on their pages at one point during that entire month and talk about why they were a coach. Procrastinator. I waited until the 30th when I was still at Success Club 0, and I was basically like, what do I have to lose at this point? I had to drink a glass of wine before I went live. Let me just say that. Like, I get really shy, so don't feel like I have to have all this confidence. I have to be super, know what I'm talking about. I have to be, a great public speaker. Not at all. So I decided I would go live. I went out on my back deck. It was a beautiful night. I think I talked for like 25 minutes because live doesn't show you how long you've been talking. And I was like, okay, this is why I'm a coach. I was totally honest about my story. I was honest about why I started, how I felt when I started, how uncomfortable I was at my wedding. That's honestly why I decided to actually sign up with Beachbody. I went from Success Club 0 to Success Club 6 in less than 24 hours. Three people reached out to me and were like, oh my gosh, you literally just spoke to my heart, to my soul. I want to do what you're doing. So that is why it is so important to be consistently posting. I waited until the last day of the month, but just think of, if most of you have never gone live before, what and whose lives can you change by going live and just sharing your story? This is why I'm a coach. That's a huge, huge, huge example. I know it sounds kind of scary, but I promise, like, it will be beyond words worth it for you. And then one more question. Kind of probably have an idea of this already, but when was the last time you posted a transformation photo? I'm going to say within the last, today's Transformation Tuesday, so everyone should have today, but within the last 3 days, who's posted a transformation? Okay. Within the last week. Within the last month? I don't see any hands. All right, so again, that's why I put for this very first post, one of the highest liked, I guess, posts of mine was this transformation right here. The photo on the left is from me in 2014. So I was 30-ish pounds heavier than I am now. Neither one of them are really great photos, but I have a beer in my hand in one, and you can't see because it's cropped, but I'm like trying to hide behind my friend. And in the other, that was just like a month, 2 months ago. And I was like in my mirror, in my pajamas. I don't think I even have makeup on at home, but I was like, girl, you're looking good. And I said to one of my coach friends and was like, hey, is this a good transformation? They were like, oh my gosh, how have you not posted that already? So transformations, again, are huge. Because guys, when you post something like this, I don't know if anyone else here was like, oh, wow, dang, that girl lost a lot of weight. I've lost about 40 pounds with Beachbody. But your friends and your family and people that you're friends with on Facebook are going to see that. And that like, or that 50 likes, I think this post had like 96 likes on it, which is a lot for me. Those are all people that you can reach out to. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for the support on that post. Like, that was super uncomfortable to post. I cannot believe I felt like that, looked like that, had those behaviors in the past. Thanks so much for the support. Are you just showing me some love, or do you have an interest in this too? Like, easiest possible conversation for you to have, especially if you're kind of newer to coaching and maybe you're scared to like reach out and start new conversations. Like, this is an amazing, amazing way. So, okay, next, just be you, be yourself. I cannot stress this enough. I need some water. There are how many Beachbody coaches? I think there's like 400,000, but actively working the business at least 3 to 5,000 maybe. So you don't want to be those cookie cutter Beachbody coaches. You don't want to be copy and pasting, good posts that you see from other coaches, trying to see like, well, they had success with this, so I'm going to copy that and see if I have success with that. No. Like I said before, the beauty of this is that you can be exactly who you want to be. So some things that you need to think of when you're posting: who are your people? Like, think of your ideal coach, whether that be someone that you already have in mind, like a specific person, or okay, like my people are women who like to hike. I live in Colorado. I live in the mountains. I really like hiking. I like being outdoors. I like kayaking, stuff like that. And my people are women who also have those similar likes, but who, maybe aren't happy at their corporate job, because I also work a full-time job and that's how I feel. Stuff like that. So you want to have, when you're posting, those people in your mind, because you're talking to that person, especially if it's a post about coaching. You're talking right to that person, and you don't have to be like, this is why I think you should sign up. You can be you, and you can be like, girl, you should see the way my husband is looking at me when I'm walking through the kitchen. Like, you can be totally honest about that when you're posting. So I like to say, post as if you're talking to your best friend, or your future best friend that you want to sign up with you, that you want to be a coach with you. Don't copy and paste other coaches' posts. Nobody likes that. It's not cool. It's not fun. And just have fun. Like, you get to be you. And that is what is such a blessing about this business, and what I'm so grateful to have. And I think a lot of us are, because it's like, okay, I can, turn this into an income, and all I have to do is be better and get fit and get healthier and help inspire other people to do the same. Like, that is amazing that this community even exists, in my opinion. This is what I've been searching for a long time that I never knew I was. Okay. But you guys, my life is just so boring. I don't have anything to talk about. Everyone says this. I've said this. Coaches say this all the time. You guys, unless you're Beyonce, your life is probably kind of boring. Like, all of our lives are actually pretty boring. So you can't use that as an excuse. So what do you post about? What do you talk about to get people engaging on your posts, to get people paying attention to you? So here's a couple examples. A transformation. No one here has posted a transformation in the last month, and that's crazy, you guys, because like my post before, physical transformations, people can see that. It's like, oh, bang, boom, that's awesome. It's okay if it's not your transformation. If you're running a challenge group or you're in a challenge group with other coaches, you probably have some awesome examples of other people who have had success. Maybe you're new on this journey. Maybe you haven't had, a 20-pound weight loss or crazy muscle gains, or maybe you don't have that you don't need that. Like, you don't even need to lose weight. You don't need to have anything crazy. And it doesn't have to be physical. I have posted many, many, many photos of myself just talking about how my mentality is what has changed even more than my body. And people, again, relate to that. I struggled with anxiety like crazy before I actually started eating right and getting healthy and plugging into a community of people. And a lot of people struggle with that. A lot of people. That is something that's super, super relatable. Being uncomfortable in your own skin. Mine was, I always talk about how my wedding was like my breaking point. I saw pictures from my wedding, and I was like, man, like, that's not what I was supposed to look like. Like, that's not how I was supposed to feel that day. And it was just awful. And that's hard for me to talk about, but that's my story. And sharing those uncomfortable photos of my befores and my nows, it's like, okay, I can't believe that I let myself get like that, but other people feel that way. And it's really, really, really important to talk about what has changed for you. And it doesn't have to be physical. It can be totally mental. It doesn't have to be a before and after side-by-side photo. It can just be an honest post about, what's changed for you mentally, physically, emotionally, maybe your marriage, your friendships. I always talk about how I used to be like super judgmental towards other women. Like, I think it's something that a lot of people struggle with. And I don't feel like that way anymore. I actually want to encourage and uplift and support other women. So again, if you don't have one, use a challenger transformation. My example from before was, why are you a coach? And be real. I can't stress that enough. Just be you. I can't believe I'm actually forming coherent sentences here tonight, because usually when I go live, when I have something to present, I'm like, like I can't do it. But no, it's perfect. Like, that's the thing. People relate to the fact that you're like, wait, what was I saying? Like, okay, this girl isn't perfect. She's not a robot. She's not some, if you are in great shape, people probably think that like, oh, she has it so easy. She looks so great. She's in great shape. But when you go live and be real and talk about, what your struggles have been, why you're a coach, why this is important to you, your family and your friends and your Facebook friends, like, people can tell when something is important to you. People can tell when you're passionate about something, and your post doesn't have to be so perfectly worded and amazing and perfect grammar and all this stuff for people to like get that vibe, even from a screen. People are like, wow, like, okay, she cares about this. Like, they're going to start paying attention to you because you're passionate. Like, you need to know that the people that are friends with you on Facebook, like, yeah, you might not really know some of them, but they wouldn't have accepted your friend request if they didn't kind of care at least a little bit. So you just need to be real and be yourself about that, and be passionate and share that love and that passion that you have. Something inspirational is something you can share. Now, say that, don't go to Google and just Google inspirational quotes and take a graphic of a quote. Think about when you're scrolling Facebook, you're probably going to scroll right past that because everybody's posting stuff like that. So when I have an example of that a little bit later, but what I typically do is like I listen to PD every day. Everybody should be listening to your personal development. I hope everybody is. Is everybody getting in PD every day? Raise your hands. If you're listening to audiobooks or reading something or doing some sort of personal development. Okay, I see some hands. Okay. If I'm like mental block, put on an audiobook and I just listen for a few minutes, or I open up one of my favorite PD books, scroll the pages for a little bit, and like what pops out to me? What just like hit me for my day? What just spoke to me? Okay, I'm going to make a post about that. Inviting to a challenge group is always a possible post. A free group, a challenge group, anything that you have. If you're not running your own, that's okay. You can always, I think, invite to your uplines. I think pretty much everyone is okay with that. And then when in doubt, you guys, it doesn't have to be about anything related to Beachbody. It's just your life. So your kids, your spouse, your dogs, like it can be really a post about anything. Like I said before, if you're passionate about something, people get that. And then lastly, I really just kind of have a couple of my examples just so maybe you guys want to visually see something that helps. This post on the left is one that had a lot of likes. I was kind of surprised because it's not really very great, but it says it got cut off a little, but it says it's not just about weight loss, it's a feeling. I posted this on my Insta stories, and then it was like people were like excited about it, so I posted on Instagram, or I'm sorry, Facebook as well. Because it doesn't necessarily matter what your before weight was and what your now weight is. Like, look at my face. Look at my freaking face in those photos. Like, I was miserable. That was December 2016. My husband took that first photo. And I was like, oh, I hate this. I didn't even, like, I wouldn't do the sports bra. I wouldn't do the shorts. I was like tank top, black leggings. Like, we're doing this, whatever. Let's just get it over with. And now I'm like, yeah, when I take photos, you know, like, I think that was just important to share, and a lot of people like that. So again, it doesn't have to be a super crazy physical journey, but your mindset. Obviously, I'm so much happier now. And then I had said before, the one on the right is, you know, if you want to post something inspirational, don't post a quote you know found on the internet. I just had something inspirational to say about, you know, don't stop dreaming. This is me following my dreams, and this is what this looks like. And then just some more transformation photos, honestly. Before and afters. Doesn't always have to be front facing either. Like, that's my booty gains. So some people might not be comfortable posting that, but I figured it was something that needed to be shared. And a lot of people are like, okay, what are you doing? So yeah, I feel like I just talked for a really long time and I talk really fast. I'm really sorry, but I see a bunch of stuff in the chat box and I honestly didn't pay any attention to it. So I don't know how much more you have to share. So I want to, I don't know, hand this back over to you, open this up to you. I don't know if people have like questions or, yeah, anything else.
All right. That was awesome, Taylor. Thank you so much.
Of course.
Just FYI, the people are totally sharing their transformations.
Oh, good.
But yeah, guys, I can't agree with Taylor more. I mean, some of the things that I took away, I was taking notes. I don't know if you guys are note takers, but I'm totally a note taker. And the big thing that I took away is, you know, what made you say yes to this business? Like, that is what you should be focusing on. Like, for example, I just wanted to show you, this is a transformation that I'm planning to share as soon as we get off this call tonight. I know that a bunch of us are pregnant in here right now. And so I'm going to share about how, like, on the left, like, that was last year in Punta Cana. And then versus this year in Riviera Maya on the Success Club trip. It is not just about the way that you look. It is about the way that you feel. And I'm going to talk about how, you know, you would think that 7 months pregnant, walking around with a big old bump around all of these coaches who just finished 80-Day Obsession, that I would be feeling like self-conscious, that I wouldn't want to, you know, that I wouldn't want people to see, that I would want to be covered up the whole time. But you know what? Even though I am in worse shape than I was in Punta Cana, you know, even though I'm pregnant, I felt more confident and more at ease with my body this year. I think just because I've learned that it's not about the way that you look, it's about the way that you feel. It's about, it's about being at peace with whatever it is that you do see in the mirror. And I think that a lot of people need to hear that. They don't need to hear, hey, look, I was overweight and now I'm not. They need to hear, hey, I was unhappy and miserable with who I was, and now I'm happy and proud of who I am. Not because of, a number on the scale or what I see in the mirror, but because, I have grown as a person. And I think that, coaching more than anything else in life just helps you to grow, just helps you to be open to growth. So that's what I'm going to share about. And so I would love this week, with all of that in mind, thank you, Erin. So with that in mind, I want to challenge everybody for this coming week on Thursday and then again on Tuesday, next Tuesday, to post some sort of like Throwback Thursday or Flashback Friday. Some people do that instead. And then a transformation on Tuesday, and use the team page as your sounding board. Ask for advice. If you're in the new coach thread, then use that thread, as a sounding board. If you're feeling like, oh, I feel like this is a stupid transformation, it's not a stupid transformation. I promise. People need to hear your story, whatever it is. So, but Taylor, I thought that was awesome. Thank you so much for sharing with us. And thank you for the truth bombs, because I'm really bad at truth bombs.
I'm not always great, but like I figured I'm here and I want to help as much as I can. And sometimes it's the truth bombs that you like need. It kind of like hits you in the gut and you're like, oh, but it's like what you need. That's what you need to hear. And I'm like really, really excited for all of you. You have such an amazing upline. You're so lucky. Oh my gosh. I'm just so excited to see what you guys do with your businesses, honestly.
Yay. Thank you so much, Taylor. And you're giving me all the feels. Oh.
That's
and Taylor and I met this year for the first time in Riviera Maya, and I want to see like every single one of you on that cruise with us next year. You can still qualify, so keep
Yay!
So okay, yay! All right, well, I hope everybody has a good night. Erin, we have our GSR right after this. I'm going to send you a new link. I'm going to stop the recording.